There's a phrase that I used to hear a lot in business school. My cohort used to throw it around like freaking confetti. And it went like this. In the marketplace, you're paid for the value you add, not for the value you think you are. This phrase has always stuck with me, and not just from a monetary concept or how one gets paid, but rather from a life aspect. Let me reframe it for you. In life, we are rewarded for the value we add, not for the value that we believe we are. So I want you to begin to consider, where in your life are you adding value? Now, it would be basic for me not to reframe this for you. Let's look at it another way. In life, I am penalized for being trapped in the value that I think I am, and not for adding value. We know when we're penalized, right? We know when we don't get returned calls. We know when we don't get the things that we want. We know we're penalized in life. And when I say life, we're being penalized by really ourselves. When we don't get the things that we want, or we're disgruntled or resentful, that's an aspect of being trapped in the value that we believe we are. So how do we reverse this? It's in simply adding value. Okay, so let's look at it from a yoga aspect, right? Let's take it from chair posture. Every yoga studio says the same bullshit, right? They're like, okay, come into chair, and I know it's hard, guys. Well, it's really not that hard to sit in an invisible chair. What is hard is adding value to sitting in an invisible chair, right? If you're able to sit your ass lower, right? If you're able to change the look on your face, because that becomes an infection, you're duly rewarded in life from many aspects, right? Your calorie burn is higher, you get a cuter ass, and the disgruntled face that turned into an uplifting one has the ability to change the look on the face of the people around you. That's hard, right? So in order for this to really take hold in my own life, I gotta look at my own life. When I do things repeatedly over and over again, and I get the same annoying ass result, or I fall into the old patterns, it's an immediate moment to become aware that I'm trapped into the value that I think I am, and not adding value. So this is the great challenge for this week, is to begin to pinpoint in our lives, you and me together. We're gonna do this work together. When in our lives, or where rather in our lives, am I adding value? In all aspects, my relationship, my home life, my work, my job, my skills, my hobby, the way I treat people. Where am I choosing to add as opposed to just stagnate in the value that I believe I already am? This is not easy. But I want you to hear me real clearly, because life is able to show us its great rewards. We look at the people in life who are resentful, right? They're disgruntled, they're unhappy, and they're fearful. They're trapped in the value that they believe that they are. It's really easy to do, and it's not some revolutionary thing. Listen, I get trapped into the value that I think I am all the time, and that's when creativity ends and creation ends. We know the people who are adding value. These are the people that we see that are the attractors, the ones we want to be around. These are the people who are kind. These are the people that are sturdy and stable and have grit and durability. We know who these people are because they're the people that we want to be around. I want you to find one of those people this week and look at them and look at their success, right? Take your judgments aside, and I want you to begin to examine where they're adding value. And then, like the science of tree grafting, just cut off a branch and attach it to yourself. And then in every scenario you have in life, you have an opportunity to add value. Okay, right? Next time you go to the grocery store, when your hands are on the cart and you're huffing and puffing and you're annoyed because you got 97 really important things to do, You got to ask yourself in that moment, am I adding value or leaning into the value that I think I am? Well, I'm leaning into the value that I think I am because I'm saying to the world that my time is more important to you than yours. Is that somebody that you want to be around? No. You know, what happens when patience and kindness takes over, right? What happens to you when you can turn on a smile? And even if you can't do that, a face of indifference, that's adding value to the other people that surround you, and it's adding value to you. It isn't creating some false ideology that your time is more important than someone else's. It's the great equalizer. Ask yourself, if you see two people in line at the grocery store, one is huffing and puffing, and the other one is smiling, and as if it is completely inconsequential, both of them have important things to do. Which one do you want to be around? Which one are you immediately attracted to? You're immediately going to talk to the kind one. Why? Because that person is adding value. Now, this is a very small example, and the truth of life is that you've got things going on in your life just like mine, in your relationships, in your home life, in your job, in your career, in your businesses, in the way that you interact with others, the way you behave when you drive. Yikes, right? This is the moment to stop and pause this week and say, okay, am I leaning into the value I think I am? If I'm honking at people, I'm telling the world that I am more important and I'm more invaluable, or I'm more valuable. What is it gaining? What are you getting? The one who's patient, that is kind, they're getting everything. So if you're wondering why you're not getting anything and everything that you want, it's simply this. Where are you going to add value this week? I'm going to do this work and you're going to do it too. Right? We're going to do it together. And we're going to talk like this now every week. I can't wait to speak to you again. We'll talk next Sunday.